Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Finley again. Today we are going to be discussing velocity and speed, how they are related, and the difference between the two. We're going to first look at what is speed. So, first, we're going to look at speed. Speed is the distance an object travels over a specific time. Say that you have a car that travels 300 miles in 5 hours. How fast was it going? The speed would equal the amount of distance that it covered in a certain amount of time. So you would divide the distance by the time. So 5 will go into 360 times. Therefore, the speed of the vehicle was 60 miles per hour. If a bus traveled 6 hours at a speed of 60 miles an hour, how far did it travel? Well, distance is equal to speed times time. So 60 from the 60 miles per hour times the 6 from the 6 hours equals 360 miles. If you were trying to figure out how long it would take to travel a distance, such as 36 miles at 9 miles an hour, time equals distance divided by speed. Therefore, you would do 9 goes into 36 four times. It would take you 4 hours. So, when we are talking about speed, speed is simply total distance divided by time, which tells you how fast something is going. Velocity is a little bit different because it tells you the speed and the direction. So, velocity is the rate of motion in a specific direction. So, just to get through some definitions, speed, simple, total distance divided by the total time. So, in a formula, we would say that S equals D over T, which is speed equals distance over time. Velocity is the rate of motion in a specific direction. Now, when we are talking about speed and velocity, we also need to talk about two other things: acceleration and deceleration. Acceleration is an increase in speed in the same direction of motion, while deceleration is a decrease in speed in the direction of motion. A few other things that we need to review. Potential energy is energy that is stored. This can be stored in like batteries, or it may even be stored in rubber bands. The kinetic energy is the energy of motion, and gravity is a force that pulls two objects towards each other. So, if you've ever been on a roller coaster and you've gone up the incline, that is increasing your potential energy. Once you get to the top, gravity is pulling you downwards, and when you start going down, you change that potential energy into kinetic energy. So let's put all of those vocabulary words that we just discussed into applicable illustration. So what I have here is a car made from K'NEX, and I have a rubber band right here that is attached to the front axle and the rear axle. When I twist it, I am creating elastic potential energy in the rubber band. All right. Once I have it twisted, I have potential energy stored in the rubber band. Now I'm going to move to the table behind me, and I'm going to let this go, and we will see that the potential energy changes to kinetic energy. Okay, so the potential energy that was stored in the rubber band when released, created the kinetic energy of motion, which made the car move. Now the car traveled the distance of the table, and the table is about 8 feet long. It took about 2 seconds. So when we look at our speed, we can figure out that our speed was 4 feet per second. That is the distance divided by the amount of time. 8 feet divided by 2 seconds. So 4 feet per second. We also had gravity. When the vehicle got to the end of the table, it fell off, and that was gravity pulling it down towards the earth. We had acceleration. When the car took off, it increased its speed. When all of the potential energy was used up, it decelerated. When it was falling, it increased its speed, acceleration. When it hit the floor and it stopped moving, that was deceleration. So that is velocity and speed. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope that your assignments will be easier to complete now that you've seen the video. Have a great day, and know that we all miss you.